There's a mechanic in Sideswipe that is simultaneously the simplest and most powerful mechanic in the game. I predict that it will someday become the new meta that all players will aim to master. It goes by many names, but I call it the manual flip. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly what it is and why it's so important. And I'll teach you a simple training routine that you can use to improve your manual flips, but in a way that incorporates it into all of the other vital mechanics in the game, including air dribbles, stalls, and everything else. So just quickly, what even is a manual flip? Well, usually when we want to hit the ball, particularly if we're going for a powerful shot, we'll aim at the ball, then press jump, and flip into it like this. However, there are two problems with this. Firstly, it uses our flip, meaning if we miss our shot, we might be in trouble getting back to defend. And the second problem is that flipping into the ball pushes your car towards the ball, which again can be a problem if we miss our shot. It's one of the reasons why sometimes it's actually better to use a purple shot or a gold shot, because both of those put us in more defensive positions. Well, the manual flip solves both of those problems. With the manual flip, all we need to do is use our joystick to flip our car around like this. We can go for a light hit where we do a small movement with our joystick, or we can go for a more powerful hit where we do a complete 360 spin. In both cases, we still have our flip, and our car stays in the same position. It doesn't fly towards the ball, meaning if we miss our shot, we're in the perfect position to recover and defend. However, that's not all it's useful for. As I mentioned in my stall tutorial video, one of the ways you can push the ball around when chaining stalls is by using the manual flip. It's super useful if you want to just hit the ball higher into the air and then follow up with another stall, or if you want to flick it forward and then follow up with a shot. Okay, so that's how to do it and why it's so important. So now let's get into our training routine. The first half of this training will use unlimited boost, so make sure you go into settings and turn that on before we start. So I designed this training routine in 4 parts. The first 3 parts are air dribble training using a range of mechanics, and the final part is shooting training using only manual flips. The most important thing about this training is that we are only allowed to use certain mechanics during each part. This is really important because it stops us from using mechanics that we might already be comfortable with and forces us to use mechanics like the manual flip to do everything we need to do to control our car and the ball. Okay, so let's start with part 1. In this part, we're only allowed to use the manual flip and basic air dribbles to control the ball. And most importantly, we're not allowed to jump or flip at all. So we're only using our joystick and our boost button. Nothing else. The first thing we'll do is get the ball into the air. Instead of just rolling the ball up the wall and then starting our air dribble, we'll instead use a manual flip. So get the ball on top of your car, then flick your joystick up to pop the ball up, and then boost to start air dribbling. And now, as I said, our goal is to keep the ball in the air for at least 20 seconds, although you can go for as long as you like. And during this time, we're making sure to only use the manual flip and air dribbles to control the ball. And then once you hit 20 seconds, use manual flip to score a goal. Once we get comfortable with part 1, where we just use the manual flip to control the ball, it's time to start incorporating other mechanics into our training to use the manual flip in more realistic situations. So in part 2, we'll add stalls, flip resets, and because stalls require jumping, jumps into our training. Including stalls and flip resets into our manual flip training is super important because manual flips are such a useful mechanic when attempting to chain stalls, allowing us to hit the ball higher into the air or change the direction of the ball after a stall. So now we just repeat the same thing, but using all of these mechanics to keep the ball up for 20 seconds, and then score a goal. In part 3, we do the same thing again, but add gold shots and purple shots into the mix. I think the best use of the purple shot in this training is to use purple flicks to get the ball up into the air. And then after we keep the ball up for 20 seconds, we can use a gold shot to score our goal at the end. And finally in part 4, we're going to practice shooting training. And we'll turn off unlimited boost for this one so we can practice our boost management at the same time. During this part, we only want to use boost and manual flips, so no fancy mechanics at all. We're just focusing on manual flipping into the ball for maximum power. So start off by popping the ball up any way you'd like, and then jump up to meet the ball in the air and manual flip it into the goal. This part was actually surprisingly difficult, so I highly recommend spending a decent amount of time doing this. After that, you can really just mix and match everything we've just done as much as you want. The main purpose is just to get used to using manual flip in as many situations as possible, so that when you do play a live match, you'll be really comfortable using this mechanic against your opponent. So I really hope that training routine helps you guys perfect your manual flips and improve your game all round. The manual flip mechanic is, in my opinion, one of the absolute most important in the game. And it's something that I really only see Champion and GC rank players using effectively. So if you can master this, you'll be well on your way to joining those players in the higher ranks. And before I go, I just want to remind you to check out my second channel where I do live gameplay videos, including a recent video where I played Lost Ark, which is a really cool Diablo-style MMO game. But I also do gameplay of Sideswipe, Rocket League, and other games as well. So check that out if you're interested in those kind of videos. And come join the Mogz Discord server if you want to hang out with me and other Mogz viewers. And become a Mogz member if you want to get access to special perks like playing matches with me or hanging out with me in a private Discord room. The links for everything I've just mentioned are in the video description. And like the video if you liked it, dislike it if not. Subscribe for more videos like this, as well as a whole bunch of other Rocket League and Rocket League Sideswipe content. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.